the most tedious LEGO instruction steps. I know this channel, I've actually watched some of their videos, and they're fun, they're interesting. And they also showcase that LEGO is sometimes doing weird stuff.
There's nothing quite like sitting down and getting started on a new LEGO set, but...
Oh, that's the Eiffel Tower. I was about to say, 74 bags is crazy. That's a lot. Book 3! This says Book 3! Holy shit.
But some LEGO instruction steps are incredibly tedious and can ruin an otherwise...
No, not this shit again! Don't remind me of this! This is exactly... Okay, 203 is crazy, but I had to do this 100 times for the tank that I have here. The tracks on that tank, and I'm not lifting it up because one half is intentionally broken. It was like shot with a rocket launcher. But yeah, I had to create the tracks, and each side was 50 of these things, so I relate to the pain of this one. Let's be honest, Meccano is better for building the Eiffel Tower. Wait, what's Meccano? Ah, I see, these things, yes. I agree, CRJ, there are just some things that just don't lend themselves very well for LEGO. But LEGO still puts them out for some reason. I don't understand it. The Eiffel Tower is the prime example of that. Personally, I would also say the plans. I just don't understand the point of LEGO plans, but they seem to be pretty popular. But I just... Why? I don't know. The bonsai is different, okay? I have the bonsai. No, but things like this, I mean, it doesn't look bad, but why LEGO? You know, I don't know. I don't see the point behind this stuff. Or... the world map. This is the one set with the most pieces ever. Because all of these, every single one of these points is a 1x1 round piece. So you have to put on, I don't even know how many. 11,695, so probably at least like 11,000 of the pieces are just 1x1 things that you just put on here with different colors. It is the most tedious set ever. Like, why? Why would anyone do that to themselves? Spoilers, the video might mention the world map. I would be surprised if it didn't. LEGO definitely the right tool for a world map. No, I didn't mean a world map. I meant the LEGO world map, the one that they put out.
Enjoyable experience. These are the worst instructions in LEGO sets. The NASA Artemis Space Launch System has an impressive final build, but getting there requires working your way through an incredibly...
Wait, how does this have 3,600 pieces? It doesn't look that massive, right? I mean, it does look pretty sizable, but many of the pieces that I see here are also pretty big. Like, okay, the fence has some smaller details, but most of these look pretty big. Like, it feels to me like the rocket itself is maybe, I don't know, including the two side rockets, maybe like 200 pieces or so. That's what it feels like to me. Maybe a couple more. Let's say 300. Doesn't feel like it's much more. But that is the thing I would look forward to building the most. I feel like the tower has a lot of like these things that just consists of... I feel like one of these bars consists of 2 pieces each, and there are 3 of them on this one alone. So that's just 6 pieces just on this alone. I feel like that's where many of these are coming from. And these support beams and stuff. I feel like this tower has the bulk of the pieces, but it just doesn't look fun to build. Like, this set looks pretty, but I'm not sure if I would actually want to build it, because it looks pretty miserable to build, I'm not gonna lie.
Tedious step. When you dump out bag 10, you'll notice that it has a smaller bag inside of it. If you look closely, you'll see that it's filled with 88 of these tap element pieces in gray. That's a lot of the same piece, but surely they can't all be used in one step, right? Well, prepare to be surprised, because on page 112 of the instructions...
Okay, so the fence does have... But still, that's just... It looks tedious as shit, don't get me wrong. Like, putting 88 of these on, it looks tedious as all hell. But I said the fence has a bunch, and the fence doesn't even have 100. And the set had, what, like 3,600 or so? That's just a fraction of what the set... Where are all these pieces coming from that the set has?
You'll need to grab all 88 of these pieces and meticulously place them one by one all around the outside of the launch pad to create a safety barricade. Luckily, LEGO also includes this top-down image to really help you out, but it's still a bit of a chore to make sure everything is perfectly aligned. But this is hardly the only...
Wait, you have to align them, They don't go into each other? You have to align all of them? Oh, fuck off.
Spaceship set with some crazy steps. To see what I mean, just check out these pages from 2022's The Razor Crest set. It seems like you'll need to wrap a bunch of chain link pieces around the front and back.
I mean, 38 is... It's bad.
Each
No,
of the
that's
ship's
bad.
2 engines for a total of 158 of these elements. At least they break up the monotony over several steps. Oh, and the final result is totally worth the hassle. In a similar...
I mean, it does look good. Same as with the tracks on the tank that I have here. It does look good. But putting it together is just tedious as all hell.
vein, though, this Technic set released in 2019 calls for 104 links in a single step.
Do you see all the colors? That is 2019, right? That's what he said? I feel like in 2024 it would be much, much more colorful.
And the equally impressive Sandcrawler set requires 152 chain links on page 174.
Oh, no.
Not every build is as considerate, though, and sometimes you just have to bite the bullet and put together 203 chain links in a single go. That's the case with the genuinely fantastic roller coaster set from...
I was about to ask, why 200? What set could possibly need 200 of these? And you know what? I can see that for a roller coaster. Yeah, sure.
2018. This set comes with 4,124 parts and a full 5%.
Okay, I kind of want to know how expensive this thing is, though. Because he's saying it himself right now, 5% are just the tracks, right?
Of them are used in this single, extremely long chain.
I'm kind of curious how expensive this thing is. Because it does also have, like, pretty big pieces like these ones here.
If you know anything about roller coasters, this shouldn't be too shocking, but there's something about seeing a single step call for that many parts that just really makes you wonder if this is the best way to spend your afternoon. Also, I can't talk about this set without mentioning that it comes with a whopping 530 round 2x2 bricks, all in white. Luckily, these are all spread across almost the entire build. While it's not too surprising that chain links typically get packaged in bulk, there's another piece that seems to come in very large quantities: grill pieces. These humble parts have appeared in nearly 4,000 LEGO sets in more than 40 colors since they were first introduced in 1990. But
I mean, to be fair, it is a good and very useful piece. 350 new on eBay for the roller coaster. I see. Okay.
Sets use way too many of them. The Fender Stratocaster is the perfect set for anyone with music in their heart, but it's got one step that...
You can actually, by the way, CRJ, in case you're ever curious about such a thing, there is this website called Brick Economy, where you can check, I don't know, let's say this discontinued retired set, Dagobah Jedi training diorama, whatever. You can see where it is for sale right now, how much people are asking for it, average price right now that it's being sold at, but also what the retail price was when it was released. So right now, I guess you can get like 66 euros for it-ish, but it retailed at 90. So if we just type in roller coaster, yeah, it retailed at 330, and right now you could get 395 or so for it, it seems. But yeah, it retailed at 330 euros. Okay. And it retired 3 years ago. I swear, rare LEGO parts are going the same way as Magic the Gathering cards. But which LEGO parts are rare at this point? Like, they keep putting out more and more sets with once rare pieces. So, like, there are less and less rare LEGO pieces at this point. If anything, it's just old sets that would go up in value, but you could just buy all the pieces individually and build that same set. You just wouldn't have the box, you wouldn't have all the parts that were specifically put together for that set, I guess. But you could just go to Bricklink, which is, by the way, owned by LEGO. You could, let's go set, just random, whatever, Fantastic Beast, sure, this, whatever. We can click on this and we can see all the pieces this set contains. So you could just buy all of these pieces individually and basically have this set. And in many cases, especially if you don't include the figurines, if you don't care about the figurines that much, you could just exclude them and buy all the other pieces, and chances are it will be cheaper. What is up with this guitar, though? What is so tedious? I guess maybe putting the strings on? I don't know, it doesn't look that horrible, though.
Is sure to make anyone's hands cramp up. On page 126 of the instructions, you'll need to fish out a total of 86 of these gray grills and completely cover 3
Okay, it didn't look like 86. It looked like less on the product photo. I see.
by 12 plates. While the result is a perfect recreation of an amp, it's easily the worst part of this building experience. However,
I don't know, it looks tedious, but this looks like one of those things that I would just do, like, while watching something. I would just put these pieces on, it's whatever. And also these grill pieces, they aren't very hard to press on. They're pretty easygoing. I don't know, I don't see a big issue with this one specifically.
this is only scratching the surface because the
I do have an issue though with
worst part of this building experience.
With this very obvious sticker right here. You can see the shadow right here, and this sticker that is not as visible, but you can kind of see the border here. I have an issue with the stickers because these stickers are the license, right? Without these stickers, it could just be any amp, pretty much. But you buy this specific set for the license, right? Not just to have a random amp, but to have the Fender amp, right? But then it's sold with a sticker? That's bullshit in my opinion.
However, this is only scratching the surface because the UCS Venator class Republic Attack Cruiser actually comes with even more of this part. A total of 152 of these pieces appear in dark bluish gray in this set. However, you wouldn't really know it by just looking at the set, as most of them are scattered among the interior and exterior of the ship.
But that's not bad then, right? Like, if they're scattered around, that's not bad. You don't put all of them on at once, right? Shape of the guitar is a big part of the license too. No, okay, yeah, you're right, but I meant specifically the amp right now. The shape of the guitar, yeah, of course. But specifically with the amp, I don't know. It doesn't look... I mean, of course, maybe the way the knobs are aligned and whatever, like, maybe all of that is very specific to this specific one. I just don't like that... I don't know. Why stickers? I just don't like that. Especially with licenses. Why? People are paying good money to have that name on there, and then it's not even printed? Come on.
Among the interior and exterior of the ship across this set's 1,500 steps. However, there's one set that truly takes the cake when it comes to these grill pieces. The undisputed grill master of the LEGO universe is without any doubt
This already looks painful. On the price they charge, those should be engraved pieces. For real. I agree. Wait, now I'm curious. It retailed at 120 euros and has 1,074 pieces. It is still available, apparently. Limited retail, but still available, apparently, at 120 euros. So that's what we're going by. Because this is what it's retailing for, right? You can get it for cheaper on eBay, like 82, as low as 82. But it's retailing for 120, and it has 1,074 pieces. Just to compare again, this is not LEGO, but this has 2,600, I think 67, something like that. Over 2,600 pieces and was 95 euros. So it's cheaper and has about 2.5 times the amount of pieces, while being cheaper, while being 20% or so cheaper. And yes, with that in mind, Theros, I 100% agree that on the prices they charge, those should be engraved pieces. Considering that, I wholeheartedly agree. Stickers are a crime at that price point. Especially those cheap ones. Because we also had some sets, some non-LEGO sets, that had very high quality stickers in the past. Like this one, where the stickers almost don't even look like stickers, because the sticker itself is only that part, that specific shape. Because the way they did it was that these logos, these icons, were on a little sheet of plastic or whatever, and you would press that on, and then take off the plastic, and only that stuff would remain. That is high quality stuff, but LEGO is giving you the cheapest stickers, the cheap ones. That is a crime, in my opinion. Anyway, this looks painful to put together. At that price I can get a reasonable quality real guitar. Should we talk about the LEGO Polaroid again? This thing costs either the same or more, I'm not sure. It's 80 euros, you can see it right here. I'm not sure how much a real Polaroid costs. If it's the same or less, but I do know that for that money you can get a real Polaroid camera.
From 2019. This 14-inch tall set comes with 1,767 pieces, and a staggering 684 of them are tan 1x2.
How many did it have? 684. So like 35%, maybe a little more, are just this one piece that is covering the whole... Oh, that must be one of the most miserable LEGO building experiences. That is crazy.
Grill elements. That means that these pieces make up 38.7% of
39%. That is crazy. That's absolutely insane.
Entire set. And these aren't just scattered throughout the build like those bricks in the roller coaster. No, these actually all come at you in a surprisingly small number of steps. Step 169 calls for a total of 110 of these parts. And just a few pages later, on steps 172 and 173, you need another 80 of them. Basically, at every stage of the build, you'll be putting on dozens and dozens of these pieces onto a wide range of snot bricks.
I hate this.
Look at these images from the instructions.
I hate this so much. This looks so painful to
Well
build.
as the final build, and it's really little wonder that this is routinely described as one of LEGO's most boring builds.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Regardless, this is hardly the only landmark that has some questionable steps. The United States Capitol building contains some of the most tedious and confusing instructions from...
Tedious and confusing. Wait, let me try to see how. I mean, tedious, I guess I can see the pillars, maybe? But, like, I don't know, that doesn't look horrible.
Any set that I've come across. For starters...
And what could be confusing about this? This doesn't look like a confusing build.
Set includes several of these 1x1 Technic bricks, these 1x1 bricks with knobs, and these 1x1 angular bricks. Considering that they all come in white, yeah, there's no way this is going to be confusing, right? Well,
I mean, if LEGO makes sure to tell you which are which, you know, mark them in the instructions in some way, then it should be pretty clear what to put there. And at that point, it should be the fault of the customer if they mess it up, you know? Because that's all LEGO can really do, right? If they mark it in the instructions, there is no issue. If they don't, if they just show you the pieces, yeah, they look pretty similar. In that case, yeah, it's not good. Hey, Permanent, welcome.
luckily, LEGO included these hand...
Yeah, see, there you go. Like, they even marked you... No, I don't see the issue here. There is... It's maybe confusing if you have, like, an IQ of, I don't know, 35? I don't know.
The images whenever these parts are used, so at least you have a fair warning that these things will be a bit tricky, or at least you need to pay a little bit more attention to which 1x1 brick you're picking up. But believe it or not, it's not even the tricky part, because on page 105 of the instructions, you'll need to place 40 of these bricks in 20 sets of them.
Interesting that they aren't marked. It's interesting that I have a bunch of LEGO sets, and they are always... The instructions feel a little inconsistent, because sometimes the new pieces are marked, like with a red outline, and sometimes they aren't, and here they don't seem to be. But here it would be helpful if they were.
Tedious, but fine. Let's do it. Well, just a few pages later, you'll need to do it all over again. You'll keep using these parts over the next several pages in groups of 2 to 10, and by the time you're done, you'll have used all of this set's 178 1x1 angular bricks. Now, there's another very important set.
Okay, that does look tedious. Oh, the Taj Mahal! The Taj Mahal is so... Oh, that is probably the most tedious LEGO set, the Taj Mahal, next to the Eiffel Tower and the world map.
We need to mention here, which is the Eiffel Tower. This set has the reputation of being one of the most repetitive, bland, and boring building experiences of any LEGO set. On page...
I mean, just genuinely, just look at this. Does this look... I mean, it looks good. I'm not saying it looks bad. It looks glorious. It looks like the Eiffel Tower should look. It looks fantastic. But looking at the individual pieces in there, at the individual parts... Would you want to build that?
experiences of any LEGO set. On page 129 of the set's second instruction book, you'll need to check out
144 of these 1x1s? Fuck off.
144 1x1 round black studs and meticulously place them all around the exterior of the frame. Look, in a set with more than 10,000 pieces and 70 different bags, this was never going to be an easy build.
I don't know if it's an easy build. It can have 74 bags and still be an easy build, you know, that doesn't have to mean anything. It's just because it's a lot of pieces doesn't mean it's hard to put together. Or doesn't mean that the instructions are very demanding. I don't know if they are. They could be, I don't know. But 144 of these 1x1s? That is crazy, holy shit.
But this is a bit ridiculous. However, believe it or not, there's another set that calls for even more parts in a single step. The Pac-Man arcade is a true blast from the past that will have you scrounging through your couch cushions for extra quarters. As seriously impressive as the final build is,
it does look good. One thing I don't like... Two things I don't like. How this here is split up. Like, you can see the white line in between, so either this is just 3 stickers or 3 prints that just don't perfectly line up, which is a shame. And this here on the side, this seems to be darker, than what's above it, and it seems to have like this outline here. I don't know, it kind of looks like a sticker to me. If this is a sticker, then I also don't like this. But that aside, yeah, it looks really good. Probably 3 stickers on 3 bricks. I hate that. I hate that. I mean, of course, the set itself looks very distinct. It is very, very obviously Pac-Man. Especially with this little Pac-Man piece and the little ghost pieces. But come on. There's a limit on how big a single brick Lego will make. There are pretty big tiles though, right? I don't know if there are tiles that big, to be fair. Yeah, sure. But even if it's 3 separate ones, it's just a shame that there is this white line in between. Especially with stickers. I hate stickers. Especially with such high prices, it should be a given that everything is printed, in my opinion.
There's at least one part of the process that's been giving builders trouble since launch. On step 158 of the instructions, you'll need to assemble a few.
Do you know that pushing in these rods into these things, it doesn't just drop in, you actually have to push it in. And these rods are pretty small. Doing it 64 times is guaranteed to give your thumb some kind of damage. And also, of course, all the colors in the middle, but I'm not even gonna complain about them anymore, right now at least. You know how much I hate them.
Technic pins, a Technic connector, and a basic rod. Okay, well, no problem. Well, now you need to do this 63 more times. Yep,
that is crazy.
You'll need to use a total of 256 pieces in this one step, and that's not even the...
That's nice, though, that is 256.
worst part. Have you ever tried pushing a rod through a few Technic pins?
That's what I'm saying! It's not the easiest thing! It's...
You fit, but you're going to get a lot of friction, and this step is sure to leave you wanting a break after you're done. As much as I love LEGO...
Not even after you're done. It's sure to make you want a break after 10 or so, honestly. Oh, I didn't realize that the Pac-Man and the 2 ghosts on here are this big. That's cool.
This is a step that I never want to do. Regardless, LEGO sure does love video games, and Pac-Man isn't the only iconic hero to get a faithful recreation in plastic.
Mario!
The NES set from 2020 might just be the most faithful version of Mario that LEGO has ever released, and
there is one thing I love about the set.
Perfectly captures all of the original title's 8-bit glory.
I'm not sure if it will be shown off here, but I think it's the back of the NES. You can take off the back, and it shows a very rudimentary version of the entire first Super Mario level ever. Super Mario Bros. Level. That is so cool.
That much detail requires an equal amount of effort. Between pages 149 and 179, or in other words, all of bags 17, 18, and 19, you'll be placing hundreds of multicolored tiles ranging from...
Yeah, but... Okay, with this one, I guess I can see what you mean. It's just I don't have an issue with this. Because pressing on these tiles isn't a problem. It's... You know, they don't have studs on top, so it doesn't hurt your thumbs after a while. It's not the rod that you have to push in, which is extra hard. It's... This, in my opinion, it sure may be tedious, but it's not an issue, in my opinion. I don't have a problem with this.
1 to 2x2 along the set's rotating display. Make no mistake, this can be a bit annoying and tedious, but beauty has its price. If placing a few hundred 1x1 tiles isn't your idea of a good time, well...
Okay. I was actually looking at the ones on top here, the 2x2s, the 1x2s, the corners here. True, this down here looks very tedious. All the 1x1s, that, I agree.
Can't blame you, but it means that you're probably going to hate putting together these next two sets. And as I show you, go tap that subscribe button and like button if you're enjoying this video.
What is this perspective, by the way? Look at this table, how it's... Yo, Z-Max! This table just looks off. The perspective looks so wrong. It looks tilted. Anyway.
The world map is by part count the
Oh,
largest
no!
LEGO set ever released as of this video. However, that doesn't mean it's necessarily the most fun. Much like the Eiffel Tower, this set requires a tremendous amount of repetition. If you've never put together one of these art sets, then you might not be totally prepared for what you're getting into. Just put 256 1x1 round plates and tiles onto the background, and then do it again, and again, and again. In total, you'll repeat this basic process 40 times.
I like this, though, on the site, that they actually provide you help with which is which.
Thankfully, LEGO at least included these super handy charts for every single step, but it's still an absolute slog for those who didn't realize what they were signing up for when purchasing.
Oh, absolutely. If you didn't realize what you were signing up, just look at this thing. Look at how big it is in comparison to the hand. Like, look at how big, absolutely massive this set is. And these are all 1x1s that you have to put in by hand. That is insane.
Massive set. If this seems like a bit too much, but you still want some LEGO art, the Great Wave is a scaled down option with a lot.
This actually looks really cool. In a way, I would like to have it, but also not. First up, because it also looks tedious as all hell to build. But also because, I don't know. I would rather actually have a poster of the Great Wave rather than a LEGO set, if that makes sense. I don't know. It just, I don't know, I'm just not a fan of the LEGO art series. I don't know, it just, in my opinion, just doesn't lend itself for LEGO, in my opinion.
But it's still got a few finger-busting steps.
Yeah, that's
However,
what I mean.
If this
It looks
is even too much for you, there's always Van Gogh's Starry Night. This set is radically different from any of LEGO's other...
It is radically different in that it actually uses a lot of, like, actual plates, and that is really cool. This is a really cool way of going about one of these art sets. Still just not a line of sets I like very much.
Art sets in that it doesn't require you to place hundreds or thousands of tiny pieces onto a series of base plates, but that doesn't mean that it's an easy build. I mean, if you look at the background, you'll notice that the several shades of blue are all lined up horizontally.
Oh no.
That's because that's how the background gets built. Starting on page 93, you'll empty out bag 5 and get to work. The first thing you'll notice here is that this bag is almost entirely made up of blue plate.
This would kill me. This is not a, oh no, this is tedious. This is a, oh no, I have a problem with colors. This would kill me.
It's in no fewer than 6 different shades of blue.
Like, these at least look different enough. I can distinguish between them well enough. And I think I also could if I saw them in real life, because the colors tend to look a little different in real life than they do in the instructions, which is, you know, understandable. But if there are more shades than this, I can imagine it getting hard for me.
For the next 40 pages of the instructions, you'll slowly build the background layer by layer until you're finally left with this massive blue wall. The colors of...
Okay, you know what? Seeing it like this, it does look tedious. Like, how many layers is this? Wait, 6, 10, 15? Yeah, 25, so this should be 35, 45, 50. Wait, you're colorblind? No. Legally, I have a weakness with greens. That's what I have on a piece of paper. But I do think there is more to it than that. Like these, I can differentiate between them. It's not that I cannot see these.
Blue bricks are so similar to each other that LEGO anticipated that some builders would use the wrong colors in the wrong spots. So this bag includes several extras of each color brick just in case, which results in this unusual looking pile of bricks being displayed in the instructions once you're done. Other sets...
That is interesting because like any set of any company I think there is one set I have built that didn't have any spare pieces or any extra pieces in there. But most of the ones I've built, including every single LEGO one, always had some spare pieces. And they were never in the instructions like this, so this is actually interesting to see.
Such as Seinfeld require you to cover the floor with pieces as if you're building a puzzle. This set requires you to lay a total of 241 pieces all over the floor, which takes over 10 steps to do so. This could get very tiring,
This, for example, it's tiles. I said it earlier, I don't have an issue with putting on tiles, so I don't have a problem with this. Because pressing on tiles is actually pretty satisfying, honestly. It feels, I don't know. With the plates, the ones with studs, at some point your finger will just start to feel it, you know? Your finger will get tired of it. But with tiles, that is not the case. They're just flat, and it's just, I don't know, and they press on in a very... I don't know, it feels satisfying, I don't know. I don't have a problem with this.
Fast. But even this is nowhere near the most tedious LEGO set that I've ever come across. That dubious honor has to go to Captain America.
Oh no, I completely forgot about this thing. I am so sorry to anyone who ever had to build this.
Shield. I mean, just by looking at this set, it's obvious that it's going to have some repetitive parts, but...
Yes, it's obvious that it's going to have repetitive parts, but they're all pretty big, right? First up, no, you can actually kind of see here that there is a line in between, and here too, and here too. So this is not just one big piece, these are several smaller ones first up. And then this exact same thing, this and this, these two are different. These two, like, lines, I guess, are different, because this one is more cone-shaped, this one is rectangular. But then these two get repeated... I think it's like 30 times or so. And you do the exact same thing basically like 30 times. That is crazy.
Trust me, no matter how bad you think it might be, it's worse. Let's check out some of the most egregious steps. The tedium kicks off early at step 9, where you have to build the basic shape. Already,
this isn't even horrible, though. It is the same thing, like, what is it? 30-something times, I think. It is the same thing many times over. But at least it's just like 3 or 4 pieces.
It should be apparent just how this is going to go. You'll be repeating every single part of this build up to 36 times.
36,
so get
okay.
Comfy. Just take a look at a few of the later steps, and you'll quickly realize that this pattern doesn't change. Once again, the final build looks amazing on a shelf, but that doesn't change the fact that this is just an extremely repetitive and tedious build.
And this is also one of those sets that, in my opinion, much like the Eiffel Tower, much like... I already forgot what else. It just, in my opinion, this just doesn't lend itself very well to LEGO. Yes, the final result looks good, but the building experience is trash, and isn't LEGO, at least in part, about the building experience? I don't know.
Just look at these steps. There's very little variety in this set. You build the same thing over and over again. Now, some people might like this, while other LEGO fans may just find this to be outright boring. However, even this is nowhere near the most tedious set in the Avengers line. The Avengers Tower might have the most repetitive steps of any LEGO superhero set to date. Click on this video right now to see what I mean, as well as many other examples.
Okay, no thanks. Yeah, I like this dude's videos. Still less work than the Millennium Falcon. Yes, but the Millennium Falcon isn't as tedious, right? That's what this is about tedium, not about how much work it is. Hot take, designing LEGO sets is now more fun than building them. With these tedious ones, I agree. Like, for example, the Japan postcard, it's not a very complicated set. It's like, what was it, like 260 or so pieces, I think. Not a very complicated set, and even within this very small, simple thing already has some repetition with the tree, of course, with this temple. There is a little, with these plants back here, you know, there is a little bit of repetition already. But this was fun to build, for me at least. I liked building this. But when it comes to those tedious ones that were shown in the video, I 100% agree.